Alright, this is going to be 4-5, completing the square day 1. To start, here's 2 questions for you. Factor that. X squared plus 14x plus 49, and x squared minus 8x plus 16. Okay, remember you need to multiply numbers on the end. Your add numbers are in the middle. See what you get. Alrighty, what do we get? First one, Stubby.
X plus 7.
X plus 7 times x plus 7. Very good. Second one. Someone else. Not plus 4. X minus 4 and? No. X minus 4 and? About x minus 4, x minus 4. Okay. Coil them back out, they go back to the top, right? Okay. Now, how else could you write those? Does anybody know? Because it's kind of the key to today. Okay, how else could you write those? Okay, let's try this. How many here? How many x's are there? There's 2 x's there. How else can I rewrite that? X squared. Okay. How many x plus 7s are there? 2. So I can rewrite that x plus 7 squared. Okay. Same logic, new application. So the other one I can rewrite them as squared. Okay. Now the key word here, and I haven't said it yet either, is quantity. All right. So whenever it's saying it, as long as you know to write it, that's one thing. But whenever you're saying it, make sure you say x plus 7 quantity squared, because the quantity basically says, hey, that's in parentheses, the whole shebang is squared. Okay? Makes sense? Yeah? All right. Now, what we're going to do today is we're going to take this style of factoring. All right? Anybody know what these are called when they factor this way? Anybody remember? 3 words. First one starts with a P. Second one starts with an S. Third one starts with a T. Perfect square. Starts with a T. Starts with a T. Last word. Trinomials. Perfect square trinomials. What today is based on is either you having or you creating perfect square trinomials. Okay? The first couple of ones, you're going to have them. Alright, so, for example, solve each equation by the square root property. First thing you do, you look at the left-hand side. Now, notice it's an equation. Okay, so we're going to solve it. Okay, x squared plus 6x plus 9. You're going to ask yourself, does that factor? Alright, does that factor? And factor in such a way that you get a perfect square trinomial. Okay, so you have x plus equals 36. X plus what? 3. X plus 3 and x plus 3. Okay. Now this is different than factoring because whenever you factor and you solve, you have to have it set equal to 0. Here we're not going to do that. Okay? Here what we're going to do is we're going to take those x plus 3s and we're going to write them as 1x plus 3, but it's going to be what? X plus 3 quantity squared equals 36. Okay? Next question. What do you think we do next? Anybody got an idea? Let's do some logic here. 36 is a what? Perfect square. We have a x plus 3 that is being squared. So how can we get rid of both of those? We could take a, not a factor tree. Well, you could factor tree, but why do you factor tree? Because you're taking a, if you're doing a factor tree, you're taking a square root. Okay? So square root both sides. Okay? So the square on the left-hand side, the square root and the square power cancel each other out. So you're left with x plus 3. All right. Now, here's where this gets just a little bit complicated. What's the square root of 36? 6. Okay, that's not the complicated part. All right, we all know that. Is 6 times 6 the only way to get 36? No. What's the other way?
4 times 9.
No. Between your sixes. With just sixes. Negative 6 times negative 6. Right? You could do 6 times 6 to get 36. You could do negative 6 times negative 6, and it gives you 36. So how many ways are there to multiply 6's together and get to 36? 2. All right? There's 2 ways. To take that into account, here is what you do next. You're going to make 2 equations. One being x plus 3 equals 6. The other being x plus 3 equals negative 6. Okay, everybody good? Last step, solve each equation. So subtract 3 here. You get x equals 3. Subtract 3 here. You get x equals negative 9. And those 2 are your final answers. Yep. Okay, so x squared minus 10x plus 25 equals 36. This one's for you. Go ahead. Alrighty, x squared minus 10x plus 25 equals 36. How does the left side factor? Close. X minus 5, okay? And that's honestly, that's one of the main boo-boo makers that'll happen, okay? Make sure you watch this sign in the middle right here. Okay, because whatever sign's there is what sign will be down here, okay? Now, if you know it's going to be x minus 5, and you don't want to write them out and just go straight to squared, that's fine, no big deal there. Equals 36. Next step is to take a square root. So you have x minus 5 equals 6. X minus 5 equals negative 6. One positive, one negative. And to solve them, you do what? House up. Both times you're going to add 5. That's the nice part. To solve it, both times you'll do the exact same thing. So x equals 11. X equals negative 1. The main thing when it says solve using the square root property is that the binomial, the trinomial, will already factor. Okay? That's the main point to the problem. Now, this one here, try solving by fact that same way. Try making x squared plus 10x minus 11 a perfect square. It won't work. Okay? It won't work. So, this is the process. It's called completing the square. Alright? We're going to make it so that it works. Alright? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to add 11 to both sides. Get this 11 on the other side of the equation. Alright, so you're doing x squared plus 10x. Leave some space, equals 11. Okay. There's a method to my madness. Just stick with me, all right? Okay. Now, I want to know what number do I need to put here that I can factor it like we have been. Okay? I need to know what number goes here that I can, so that when it goes there, we can factor it the same way we had been, as a perfect square trinomial. Now, maybe you know it, maybe you don't. There's a way to find out every single time. Ready for this? Remember how whenever we defined it, remember what number is this? It's obviously it's 10, but I mean whenever you're talking about a quadratic, it's what? A, B, or C?
B.
It's B, right? Next to X. Every single time you take B, you divide it by 2. 10 divided by 2 gives you what? 5. Okay. Now, what is that? What did I just draw? No, specifically it is it's a square. It may not look like it's square. Pretend it's a square. What do you think that square around 5 means to do?
Square.
Square 5. Look at that visual cue. Did you see that? It's pretty awesome. So what's 5 squared? 25. Guess what? It goes there. Okay.
So, how do you know if it's a plus 25 or a
Right here is always going to be plus. Okay? Always. Okay? So to figure out this number here, you take B, you divide it by 2, you square it. Okay? Does everybody see this little, this is scratch, to me this is scratch work here. Okay? So I'm going to get rid of it now. Everybody good? Okay? I can make it come back. Here, I'll just move it out of my way real quick. I can do that too. No, not with that. Hold on. Why didn't it grab the dots? There. Now, I asked again, how does this factor?
Square root. Oh. X plus 5.
No, just factor. X squared plus 10x plus 25 factors. Stovey says x plus 5 quantity squared. Okay? So, don't get ahead of me here. So you've accomplished what you needed to do. Okay? You've gotten the left side to factor. There's just one problem. What I do right here, I added 25 to what?
That side.
The left side. Everybody see that? I just put a 25, plus 25 in there. Just out of the blue. This is a, what's that? An equal, which makes this a equation. And if I'm going to add 25 to one side, I better add it to the other side. Okay? Because you need a 25 there to factor. Okay? So whatever goes here also needs to go over here. Okay? We said that factors x plus, we said that factors x plus 5 squared. What's 11 plus 25? 36. See how you made it one like last time now? Okay? That's the change. Instead of me just giving it to you, you're going to make it look like last time. For this lesson, there's a reason why there's day 1 and day 2. Today, these will all be whole numbers. Okay? Everything. All your answers will be whole numbers to help you to make sure you got it right. Okay? From here, solve it the same exact way. Square root them. So you get x plus 5 equals 6. X plus 5 equals negative 6. Subtract 5, x equals 1. Subtract 5, x equals negative 11. So add 2. Okay, you have x squared minus 8x minus 2 equals negative 9. So add 2, because that 2 has no bearing on how you complete the square. So get rid of it so that way it's not in your way. Okay. So then you figure out what number goes there. So you take b, which is -8 in this case, divide it by 2, which gives you what? Specifically. -8 divided by 2. -4. And then you square -4, which gives you? No. Square -4. -4 times -4. 16. Good. So 16 there. 16 over there. What goes here? Then. Almost. -4. Whoops, too much color. Here's a little trick, ready? Whatever number you square is what's going to be there. Okay? Every time. So x minus 4 squared. It's -7 plus 16. Nine. Square root them. X minus 4 equals 3. X minus 4 equals -3. So x equals 7. And x equals 1. Alright, so first step is always what? Well, in this case, it's going to be what?
Plus 2.
Plus 2 over, okay? Always get it so that you have just x squared and x on the left-hand side. So x squared plus 6x. Leave some space there. Equals -5. Okay. Next, divide by 2, which will give you 3, and then you square it to give you 9 here and 9 over there. Don't forget to add it to the other side. Okay? Yeah. Because in honestly, most cases you'll catch yourself. All right? Because it'll either end up being a negative on the right hand side or some really ugly number. All right? Especially here. So get in that habit of making sure you add it to the other side. All right? So the left hand becomes eventually x plus 3 squared equals -5 plus 9 gives you 4. Square root both sides. So you get x plus 3 equals 2. X plus 3 equals -2. So x equals -1. X equals -5. Tonight for homework, you're going to have a worksheet. 4.5, number 1. Is going to be tonight. Tomorrow we'll do another set of this where it's like doesn't work out so nice. Wednesday, make sure Wednesday you bring your graphing calculators. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a program. So Wednesday, make sure you have your calculators with you.